Okay, welcome. And this is the welcome and introduction video for Math 101. This is going to be a welcome video that is going to introduce you to everything you need to know on day one of this class. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind is as I go through this is going to be a video that is going to go through everything that pertains to this course, the way I teach it, and it's going to pertain to my syllabus and my math lab. So I'm going to go through a lot of things. Now, keep in mind that when you're going through this, I'm using my syllabus for this particular semester as an example. So keep in mind that down here, notice that the date here, this is going to be specific to this particular Math 101 section that I teach, but the information will be applicable to all of my classes. The only thing you'll have to make sure you do is read the syllabus. Most of the syllabus is going to be exactly the same except for dates, calendars, things like that, things that change from semester to semester. So I'm going to refer to certain things, but you're going to have to look at the syllabus to get the correct information for this particular class. Okay, so again, just make sure you do that. And I'm also going to go through Blackboard and my math lab in addition. So I'm hoping to keep this down to 45 minutes or less. But again, this is something that I'm going to require that you guys view and watch and take notes because you're going to be responsible for knowing this information. I'm not going to be covering this information on the first day of class. Okay, so from there, let's get started. So this is Blackboard. And so this is the way it would look when you open it up. This is the welcome announcement that I send out every semester. Of course, you may have already gotten this, but again, it's also here under the announcements on Blackboard. Okay, now this information don't even worry about because all of my stuff is going to be down here. So the syllabus is going to be here. Okay, and there's something missing. That's not here. Let's see here. Hold on a second. I just want to double check. Well, yeah, they should be. Okay, why aren't those showing up? Probably because I don't have. Probably because. Oh, this has some stuff in it. Probably because I don't have anything in these two folders yet. So I'm going to stick with this because I don't have anything in these two these two folders. Let me double check. Yep, that's why. So let me exit preview. Okay, so again, I'm going to stick with mine because I don't have anything in those folders yet, but we'll cover that. But anyway, so here's where the syllabus and class schedule is going to be located. So the syllabus is located right here. Now, I may update the syllabus, revise the syllabus, and I will replace this on Blackboard. And then what I'll do is I'll send out an email if I make any revisions. And anytime I make a revision, I strongly recommend that you print out a new one. Okay, so you don't go off of wrong information. Okay, So let's stop there and let's go to the syllabus and go through the syllabus. So now here's the syllabus. So at the top you have the title, okay, with the title of the course name, the course information, Math 101 with the section number, and then this is the semester information. Here's my contact information. This is some links to get to my math lab and to Harper, so I provide a lot of different ways of getting there, so that students know, hey, there's more than one way to get there. So this is your course ID that you're going to need. Again, make sure you check the current syllabus to make sure you have the correct course ID. And then here's the other classroom information here, where we're going to meet, times that we're going to meet, the days we're going to meet, and then the number of credit hours this class is worth. Now this may change depending on the type of class that you have. Again, I'm not going to go through this. That's the prerequisites. Here is some important information. This is how you register for the course for my math lab. Okay, so make sure you go through this, because once you do this, then you only have to log into Blackboard, and you'll only have to log into my math lab once. Okay, now if you want to go directly to my math lab, you can go to Pearson My Lab and mastering.com. And so this is some good information on how to get set up and started with my math lab. Okay, I've linked my math lab to Blackboard, so that's why I put this in here. So that way, once you go through the process, then once you log into Blackboard from that point forward, you will not have to log into my math lab anymore. It'll automatically log you in. So you'll have to register the first time, log in the first time, but after that, don't have to log in. Just log into Blackboard and then go to the homework, and I'll show you. And that's this part right here. Okay. So now, where is that? Well, that's going to be over here under online assignments. Okay, so if you go to online assignments, here's a document. Again, if you open this document here, it has the same information, very similar information to what's on the syllabus. And so here it is. Here's the course ID again. Make sure you double check to make sure that that's correct. And then here's the other student instructions that you can do. Okay, so these are other types of instructions. Okay, so again, more than one way to skin a cat. But these are the ones that I would rather you use, because this is, again, will prevent you from having to log into my math lab all the time. Okay, so now here's where you would go for all my assignments. So you'd click here and then launch. And if it's your first time doing it, you would have to register. Now, I've already done it, so I don't have to do it again. But once you register, then it goes straight to, see how I didn't even have to log into my math lab? Now, the first time you do this, you'll have to register. You'll have to have your access code, so you have to purchase that. That's required. And you can get the book or not, but again, it comes with an ebook, but you have to get the access code. And then once you get the access code, then you have access to the homework and quizzes. Now realize that the homework comes first. So if you want to just homework, then you'll have just the homework. Okay? If you want to see quizzes, then there are the quizzes. Now, keep in mind that the homework has certain due dates. Okay? So here's the due date. Notice that this has a due date. Now notice that for all of these homeworks, they all have the same due date. Okay? So make sure you're working on these throughout the semester. Do not wait till the last week to do these. Okay? So as we cover section 3.1, you should start working on the homework. You have 3 attempts at the homework. Okay, now that's not saying that you're going to have time to do all 3 attempts, but if you don't do well on a particular homework, you can take it up to 2 more times to improve your score, and Blackboard will automatically, or not Blackboard, but My Math Lab will automatically take the highest of the 3 attempts. Okay, but if you get a 9 out of 10, or you get a 98% or an 82%, and you're happy with that, then you don't have to take it again. Okay, but you do have those 3 attempts available to you. So always pay attention to the due dates. Okay, I do also have these on the syllabus as well. Okay, so it's going to be your responsibility to make sure that you have these done in the appropriate time manager and that you're managing your time. Okay, if you wait till the last minute and there's computer problems, or they're updating Blackboard and you're not able to get in there, or whatever the case may be, that's not going to be a valid excuse. And I do not, and again, I repeat, I do not give extensions on homework. Okay, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Okay, so let's go back. So again, that's pretty much how you access that. So let's go back to the syllabus. Okay, so here's some other information for required material. So the textbook is the Thinking Mathematically 7th edition. If you get the access code, you don't need the physical textbook. I always recommend that you get the physical textbook. If you buy the physical textbook, make sure that it comes with the My Math Lab access code. Okay, the access code. So it does cost money to have the access code. So just make sure that you either buy the access code directly through Pearson or through the bookstore. Okay, or if you're going to buy the new textbook, make sure that it comes with the access code incorporated. Okay, so it's up to you. But you don't necessarily need the physical textbook for the class. All you need, but you do need the My Math Lab access code. The access code gives you access to the ebook, which is exactly the same. So again, it just depends on what you prefer. Okay, I will tell you that having the physical textbook is better, in my opinion, and based on research. But again, I understand money is always a concern. So definitely, minimally, you need the access code. Okay, calculator. Here's the calculator that you need. You need a graphing calculator, a T83 or a T84. Okay, you can also rent calculators. Okay, so here's information on renting calculators. I think it's a great deal if you want to save money. And if this is the only math course you're going to take, then hey, why spend over $100 on a calculator that you're only going to use for one semester? So you can rent those, but again, it's based on a first come, first served basis. And again, you have to use a debit or credit card, no cash. Okay, so again, first come, first served. Supplies are limited, so make sure that you get on top of that now if you want to. And again, here's where the information is as far as going. I believe this information is still up to date. Okay. Course description. Okay, so this is a basic introduction to mathematical thinking, to logical thinking. So this is going to cover a lot of different topics. We're going to cover basically four units, and each unit covers an area of real-world application of mathematics and different concepts. Okay, so again, this is for people who are not math majors. This is for people who have maybe math is not their strong suit. But again, it's going to require math. So you are going to have to study. Even if math is not your strong suit, you're going to have to put in the work to make sure you understand the concepts so you can pass this class and go on and put this behind you. Trust me, I understand. Okay, so now, here's the outline. I'm not going to go through these. This is going to be the topics we're going to be covering. Here's the method of presentation. We're going to be doing group work, lecture discussions. All of my lectures are going to be video lectures on Blackboard. I'll get to that in a minute. So you're going to have access to the videos right now or shortly after you watch this video. Before classes start, you'll have access to my lecture videos to get a head start on things, and I strongly suggest you do that. In fact, when I get to the idea of a flipped classroom, you'll you'll understand. So we'll do group work, calculator work, computer work sessions. So we're going to do a lot of work in the classroom because of the flipped classroom idea. Okay. Student outcomes. These are what I expect and what you should be able to do when you finish with this class. These are all the things that you will be tested on. Let's see here. General learning outcomes for the college. So these are the things that we hope and expect that you would be able to do. Okay, so method assessments. These are the ways I'm going to assess you. Okay, your mastery of all of these things. How am I going to assess that you know all these things that we just saw? Well, these are the ways I'm going to do it. Okay, here's the grading scale, the weights. So these are all the different assessments. And this is the course grade, this is my breakdown, and this is the weights of each type of assessment. So exams are each worth 12% of your course grade, quizzes are 15%, homework is 10%, attendance is 2%, and that may go up. I may increase that based on the fact this is a flipped classroom, so I'm going to make that heavier that you guys show up to class, because that is a requirement of showing up for class. But again, this is the grading scale. If it changes, I'll let you know, but this is the grading scale. Oh, by the way, on Blackboard, I will make sure that there is a column called the weighted total column. The weighted total is the one that will tell you what your rough grade is in the class in any particular moment. I will set it up so that it calculates your grade correctly, but it will be a rough estimate until the end of the semester. But basically, it'll tell you from day one, when you get your first assessment, it'll tell you, hey, where you're at in the process, okay, as a rough estimate. Okay, so the lecture video. So again, this is a flipped classroom, which means that instead of you coming to class and sitting through a lecture and then having to go out of class and learn it and then apply it and do the homework and prepare for quizzes and prepare for exams and such, what I'm going to do is, in a flipped classroom setup, you're going to take basically that 50 minutes or that hour that you'd be sitting in class. You're going to use that hour and you're going to be watching the lecture videos outside of class before you come to class the day we cover that material. And then when you come to class, we're going to jump right in and we're going to start working on problems. We're going to work on homework, possibly. We're going to work on activities, worksheets. We're going to work on projects. We're going to work on doing the things, practicing the things that you've seen in the video, because then when you have questions, and I highly, highly recommend that you treat the lecture videos exactly the way you would treat a lecture if you were sitting in the classroom. Take notes, jot down questions, and then when you come to class is where we're going to practice, where you're going to ask questions, where I'm going to be the professional educator, where I'm going to expound upon, explain, and answer your questions as we work on the material and practice doing problems in class during class. And so now, remember, the Higher Learning Commission here in Illinois expects, and this is across the board, that for every hour you spend in class, you should be spending a minimum of 2 hours outside of class studying, working on problems, and preparing for class. Okay, the only difference is, in a flipped classroom, I'm taking one of those hours and I'm flipping it. Okay, so you still are going to have to use at least 1 hour outside of your class time to continue to do your studying, to do any other homework for this class that we didn't do in class, or anything else that's coming due. Okay, so that doesn't mean that just because we're going to do work in class that you're not going to have to do studying, practice, and work outside of class. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, homework. So homework is one of the most important aspects of the course. This is where you're going to practice what you're learning. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you practice. It doesn't matter what the skill is, whether it's learning a new instrument, whether it's learning a new sport like billiards, pocket pool, billiards, pool, whatever you want to call it. It's going to take practice. Nobody walks to the table, nobody walks on the court and automatically plays like a pro. Okay, it takes practice, it takes drills, and math is the same thing. When you're learning a new subject matter, it's going to take practice, it's going to take study, it's going to take the drills, right? So why do you do that? Well, because if you practice enough, then when you get to the game where you're actually in the tournament is where you don't want to be thinking about things. In the tournament, you want to be on autopilot. So in mathematics or any other type of learning, you want to practice and study so that when you get to the exam, you don't have to think as much. It's automatic. When you see the problem, you say, okay, I know how to handle this. I know how to work this out. Okay, because you've done enough of that. Okay, so keep that in mind when it comes to homework. Now, the homework, I'm going to be dropping the lowest 5 homework scores. Okay, so therefore, I'm not going to accept any late homework. If you forget, or you're having computer problems, or what have you, or you waited too long and you weren't able to complete it, it's a 0. But that's okay because I dropped the lowest 5 homework scores. Okay, so please do not email me asking for more time. Okay, because I give you plenty of time to get the homework done before the due date. Okay, so you've got to make sure that you're working on homework every single day so that way you don't get trapped by the due date. Okay, also I'm going to have suggested homework on there. The suggested homework is not going to be graded. I'm not going to collect it, but it's for more practice. These are problems that we may work on in class, or that I may have you work in groups in class, or we may work on the board, what have you. Okay, or you can work on these outside of class as well. Keep in mind that I do give daily or weekly quizzes in this class. Then I will take, a lot of times I will take the questions on the quizzes from the suggested homework. Okay, so it even helps you on the quizzes. If you do the suggested homework, then it's going to prepare you for the quizzes as well. Okay, and let's see, quizzes again. So again, there are online quizzes on my math lab that I showed you, and also there will be in-class quizzes. Now the in-class quizzes work like this. Obviously, the first week of class, I'm not going to be giving you any in-class quizzes. Okay, because I always give you quizzes the following week, and the quizzes will cover what we covered in class the prior week, the week before. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so, and I usually will give at least one quiz every week. Okay, at least one quiz every week. Okay, so be prepared every day for a possible quiz because I will not announce them. Okay, but I do drop the lowest 5 quizzes. Okay, regardless of how many quizzes we end up having. Okay, so again, if you miss this class or you come late and we had a quiz that day, well, that's going to be a 0. Again, there are no makeup quizzes in this class. So again, just make sure you come into class, make it a priority, be at class, and be at class on time. Okay, I'm going to cover attendance in a few minutes anyway. Okay, exams. Okay, so there are going to be 4 exams because there are 4 units. So you have 4 unit exams. There will be, it says multiple choice type questions. That's not correct. Probably not. I'm going to leave it in there, but there probably will not be any multiple choice questions. Maybe a few, but the vast majority of the questions will be free response questions, which means that you're going to have to actually write in or calculate the answer. Some of them may be multiple choice, but the vast majority of the questions will be fill in the blank, calculate it, work it out. And here's the other thing, show your work. And please be neat. When you do your work, whether it's on a project or homework or the exam, especially the exams, please write neatly, write legibly, which maybe is a little bit redundant, but also write in a nice, organized fashion so that I can follow your work. If you're writing all over the place and it's hard to follow, I cannot give you as much partial credit. In fact, I do not spend a lot of time trying to decipher students' work. If after a couple of minutes I can't figure it out, I will just mark off points and move on. So the better you are at making sure it's neatly written in a step-by-step pattern. If you have to use arrows so I can follow your work, put arrows down. I used to do it all the time when I was taking math classes. Okay, and also circle or box your answer, your final answer. You need to circle or box your final answer so that I know what your answer is. Okay, if I can't figure out where your answer is or what your answer is, I will take the points off. Okay, if you don't show any work and you get the wrong answer, I do not give any partial credit. Be forewarned. If you're going to use the calculator to get your answer, if you live by the calculator, you're going to die by the calculator, because even if you're off by a decimal point, you will not get any partial credit. So this is the first time hearing this, so please, it's always better to show your work and to be neat and to show the steps. Okay, so again, there will be no makeup exams in this class. Okay, so in this class, let me make sure I wrote it here. Yes. So if you miss an exam, what I will do is I will take the average. Oh no, I won't. No. I'm going to replace. That's what it is. Hold on. Let me change this. I'm not going to average. Nope. What I will do is replace the missing exam score with whatever score you get on the final exam. Now, if you miss a second exam, you will just receive an F. You will receive not an F, but you'll receive a 0. A 0 on that exam, because if you miss more than one exam, I can't replace 2 exams with the final. So you'll just receive an exam. So by the way, if you miss 2 exams, there's other issues going on. Okay, very seldom do I get students that miss 1 exam. Okay. Now, if you want to take the exam early because you have a conflict, and again, you need to make sure you reach out to me with plenty of time, because I make the determination whether it's a valid reason or a valid conflict. And it's my decision whether to allow you to take the exam early or not. Okay. So again, you've got to give me notice, and the notice has to be at least 6 hours notice. Okay, why? Because I might say no. And if I say no, then that'll give you plenty of time to rearrange your schedule or to make accommodations to be at the exam. If you wait till the last minute, then I'm not going to, it's going to be too late. So please don't do that to me. Don't do that to yourself. Okay. So there will be absolutely no exceptions unless you're pregnant. Sorry, guys. Legally, if you're pregnant and you have a legitimate medical reason, then I will give you a makeup exam. Okay, but again, I will need documentation from your doctor demonstrating that. So again, just be aware. Okay, so please make sure you let me know in advance if possible. Now, here's the thing: there are things that come up that where you're not going to be able to let me know within 6 hours. For example, if you get in a car accident, you get a flat tire, or something comes up, okay, that's outside of your control. But again, if that happens, email me as soon as possible. Do not email me a day later or later that day, okay? You all have cell phones, you all have iPhones, Androids, whatever. Email me and let me know what's going on, because in those cases, I will obviously just end up replacing those exams. Okay, I can't give you a makeup exam, but just realize that I can replace that score with whatever you get on the final. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Let's see. Oh, no electronic devices other than a calculator are out during the exam. Except, now here's the thing, your phone is to be out, turned upside down, turned on either silent or off. Okay, this way, if you have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to ask me for permission. Okay, or I don't have to stop you and see if you have your cell phone with you. You're going to leave your cell phone on the table in front of you, face down, either on silent or off. And that way, if you have to go to the bathroom, you can go to the bathroom and you don't have to ask me. No big deal. Okay, but if you're in the bathroom for a long period of time, then I'm going to start to wonder what's going on in the bathroom. Okay, so I have caught people cheating on this exam. And if you are caught cheating on an exam, it's an automatic failing of the exam, and then I have to report it to the Office of Student Conduct. And that is not something I want to do. I've had to do it one time, and I don't like doing it, but I have to because it's an integrity issue, and it is something that is rampant on college campuses, and it's something that we have to be very strict on. And so please, 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 please do not try to cheat. It always comes out. Maybe not in my class, but it will eventually come out, and it will be a stain on your record if it has to go to student conduct, Office of Student Conduct, and nobody wants that, including myself. So please, don't try that. So anyway, no sharing of calculators. I do not share my own calculator, so don't ask me for one. If you forget your calculator, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. So please make sure you have your calculator on you whenever you come to class. Bring it with you. Put it in your purse. Put it in your backpack. Whatever the case may be, just make sure you have it with you at all times. That way you never have to worry about it. Also, put a fresh pair of batteries in your calculator. If it's a new calculator, that's fine. If it's a borrowed calculator, or if it's a used calculator, or if you've had it for a while, make sure the batteries are new. Okay? I've had students come up to me where the calculator just dies, and there's nothing I can do about that. So please make sure you have fresh batteries in your calculator. Once I hand the exams back, you will have 1 week to bring to my attention any mistakes that I made. And by all means, please, if I made a mistake in grading, or I made a mistake on the exam or the key, let me know. I want to know, because those are points that I want to get back to you. If you feel like I graded too harshly, or if I took points off and you feel like you answered the question adequately and that you feel I took too many points off, please let me know. Please, 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 please. I'm not going to bite your head off. The worst thing that'll happen is I say no, and that's okay. And I'll always explain why I took the points off, but if you make a valid reason and I agree with you, then I may add a point or two. So, but again, you won't know unless you ask. Okay. Okay, practice exams. There may be practice exams. In fact, I do have practice exams on there, and that we will go over during the review sessions. So they're there, and you can work on them in class. We'll also, you can work on them outside of class, and then you can bring your questions to the review sessions. There are also projects. So the projects are going to be handed in, submitted through Blackboard, and there are 5 of them. One project is for chapter 1. The others basically refer to chapter 7, which is our on statistics. Okay, so again, just make sure that you keep up on the due dates. We'll probably be working on those in class. So, but you're more than welcome to work on them out of class. Again, in class, you can ask questions. So you can ask me questions on the projects. Now, the thing is that you can work as groups. You can work on these together, but your work must be done independently. If you copy, or if I suspect that there's copying going on, I will investigate. And again, if you're caught copying, then you, and possibly the person that lets you copy, will receive a failing grade on that assignment. Again, this goes back to cheating and plagiarism. Okay, so please don't do that. I will be encouraging you guys to work together in class. We'll be doing group work, and you'll be working on these in class some of the time. But outside of class, you can work on them too. But when you when you're doing your own work, you have to do it independently, separately. Okay. And again, these are going to be submitted through Blackboard, so you're going to have to scan these, take a picture of it, but make sure that it scans appropriately and that you upload it as a PDF or as a GIF file or a GIF file, whatever the file is. Make sure that when you upload it, that you can see a preview of the upload. If you don't see a preview of the upload, there's a problem. Okay. If you see a preview of the upload, then you also check to make sure you can open it up, because you can download it. Just make sure you can open it up and download it on your computer and open it up without any problems. Okay. If both of those things are good, you're good. If you go to upload and you get an error, email me. Okay. If you don't get a preview, email me, because then what I will do is delete that submission and then you can resubmit, because you only get one submission. So again, make sure you submit these early rather than late, because these are due on Sunday, I believe, and I'm not going to be available on Sundays. Okay. Or typically Saturday I'll check my email, but if you wait till the last minute on Sunday, like at 8 o'clock in the evening, to submit this or to start working on this, chances are if you make a mistake, I'm not going to find out until the next day, and by then it's too late. Okay, so please work on these earlier rather than later. Get these submitted earlier rather than later. The due date is just the due date. That doesn't mean, oh, I can go ahead and wait till the last minute to work on this. No, that would be bad. Okay, so don't do that. Final exam is a comprehensive final exam, and it's given by the department. Okay. And here's some information on that, so please remember to read this. And here are, oh, by the way, no extra credits given in this course other than the extra credit that I give for the last 2 pages of the syllabus, which I'll get to. Okay. In fact, I'll just say it here. Except okay, so I will discuss that in a moment towards the end. Okay, so now let's hurry on. So here's the tentative dates of the final. So I put these in here for you, so easy peasy, so you can see when the exams are going to be. Cell phones. This is my policy on cell phones in general when I'm in class. So please, please, please don't have them out. Just don't, because there's no need to have your cell phone out in class, because we'll be doing enough work. Here's my attendance and tardiness. So please make sure you read this. You get 2 points every day for being on time and staying the whole class period. So I do take this, and so I will have a sheet for attendance, and you must sign in. And if you are late, now what does late mean? Late means that when the computer says 8 o'clock, I will walk over and put a box around the names of the people who have signed in. So if you're in class and you did not sign in, or if you walk into class and I've already put a box around it, I don't care if the clock says 8 o'clock when you walked in. I'm going to wait till the computer on the desk, the computer at the front of the desk, the computer that I go off of, hits 8 o'clock. And if you're not in the classroom at that time, ready to go, then you're late. So you need to make sure you get to class early if you don't want to be counted late, okay? Because at 8 o'clock, you're late if you're not in the classroom. Even if it's 8 o'clock and 30 seconds have passed, you're late, okay? So again, be aware. This is important. It's important for you to be in class on time because it's important for us to start class on time, okay? Also note that if you are not actively pursuing completing the class, if you are not attending class, actively attending, participating the course objectives, Harper College does reserve the right to administratively remove you from the class, okay? So please make sure you're coming to class, okay? Withdrawals, here's information on withdrawing from the class. Make sure you read that. Oh, this is, yeah, that's correct. Yep, that's correct. Again, I'm not going to go through all this. This is information you need to read on your own, but it's in the syllabus for you. Here are important dates that you're probably going to want to know for this semester, so that's there for you as well. Here are tips for success. Please read these. Again, I've covered a little bit of this, but please, 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 please read this. This goes for any class you take in general. Okay, and here is the tentative schedule. So notice that I have all of the due dates for everything. Project 1, Chapter 1 homework, online quiz number homework, the dates that we're going to be covering each section. Okay, so for example, for Tuesday, we're going to be going over 1.1, section 1.1, inductive and deductive reasoning. So you should have the lecture video for section 1.1 watched. You should have notes taken. You should be have your questions ready before Tuesday, before that date. So I would, and again, for Wednesday, we're going to be starting section 1. So I would have the lecture video, and this is the way it should be done. You should have the lecture video watched before that day's class. Okay? So since we, in this class, we're meeting at 8 a.m., I would definitely suggest you have it watched the day before at the very latest. Okay, so that way, again, when you walk in the class, you've got your notes, you've got your questions, and you're ready to work. Okay, because that's what we're going to be doing in class. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, I've got other things in here. So again, I'm going to let you peruse this. I've got lots of information. I try to make this as easy as possible for you guys to follow so that there's no questions. The only thing I don't have here, which I'm going to add later, are the weeks. I forgot to add those, but I'll add those after this video. Okay, so here are the last two sheets. This is what you're going to get your extra credit. The extra credit for this class is 10 exam points. Okay, you get 10 exam points for turning in the last two sheets. And so let me put that here as well. Okay, 10 extra credit exam points. Okay, And these exam points will be added to, it doesn't matter which exam because all the exams are going to be worth 100 points or out of 100 points. So those 10 extra credit exam points will go on any of the exams you take. So if you don't do so well on an exam at the end of the semester, I will go ahead and add those 10 extra credit points to your lowest exam score. Or, well, it doesn't really matter which exam score, but one of the exam scores. Um, it probably won't be your lowest exam score since I'll be replacing the lowest exam score with whatever you get on the final. So but I will replace one of your exam scores, or to not replace, but I will add those 10 extra credit points to one of your exam scores to help you out. So if you don't do so well, those 10 extra credit points will boost you one letter grade. Okay, but that's only if you turn in the last 2 pages of the syllabus before the due date. Even if you turn it in after the due date, I will accept them, but I do not give you the extra credit points. Okay, so be aware, it's your one time for extra credit, so don't mess it up because I don't give any exceptions to that because it's extra credit. Okay, so this is something you're going to have to do. So this is the student information sheet. Fill this out. You're going to get to know me. I would like to get to know you a little bit, see what you're doing, where you're going, what are your aspirations, what are your goals, what do you like to do, things like that. Because I talk about myself a lot and I give a lot of golden nuggets in this class, and I like to get to know you guys. And this is the signature page. So this is also the second page that needs to be turned in. So make sure you fill this out, turn it in before the due date. Now again, this is the due date I have for this particular class. Make sure you check the syllabus and you look at the due date on the syllabus, because again, remember, this may be different. Just like these dates may be different for your class. Again, I'm doing this video for all of my quantitative literacy classes. Okay, so again, just go through the syllabus, make sure you read the syllabus, make sure you understand the due dates, all the different dates that are in the syllabus. If you catch a mistake on the syllabus on Blackboard, please let me know so I can fix it. If you have any questions about the syllabus, please let me know so I can clarify or answer your questions. Okay, so that is the syllabus. Okay, so now I'm saving that and I'll upload a new one later. Okay, so now, welcome introduction video. This is where the introduction, so there's nothing here right now, but this is where this video will be, just so you know. So it'll be under, oh, also the video, I'm going to put up some other videos on Flipped Classroom. One's only like 5 minutes, and I'll put up another video about myself that you guys can watch if you want to. PowerPoint decks. These are where I'm going to put all the PowerPoint decks for this class that I'm going to do the lecture videos from. So each unit has their own chapter. So this will be for chapter 1 and 3. This will be for chapter 7, chapter 8, and then chapter 12. So each one of these will have the lecture PowerPoints. Okay, that's what I do the lecture videos from. Now, the lecture videos are probably going to be boring. Okay, I'm sorry in advance, but I'm not the most entertaining person. Again, it's a lecture video. Okay, take notes, engage the material, do whatever you need to do. Coffee, toothpicks to keep your eyeballs open, to keep your eyelids open. Whatever you need to do, you have to get through the material. I know lectures can be boring at times. I try to go through them as quickly as I can without being overly rapid. I try to be entertaining as much as I can. I try to be informative, but I'm sorry, there are going to be times where you're just going to be like, oh, but you just got to groan through it. Make sure you engage the material so that you get out of it what you need to get out of it so you can practice. Okay, you've got to watch the lecture videos. Okay, so now the lecture videos are going to be here, and I'm going to put them in by chapter, okay, and lecture. So they're going to go in order of the sections, okay. So again, just look for the section heading for the video, okay. So they're going to be in order, okay. So again, I'm going to try to make this as easy to follow as I can, okay. And everything is going to follow the syllabus for the most part. That's what I go by. The syllabus is the Bible of this class. So make sure you follow the syllabus. The lecture videos are going to follow the syllabus as well. Okay, again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Oh, one more thing. When you watch the videos, please download them onto your laptop, onto your computer first before you watch them, because I've had students have problems viewing them. I'm not sure why, but again, view them after you download them. It'll be a lot easier than trying to stream them. I've had students have issues streaming them from time to time. So to avoid any complications, download them first, then watch them. Okay, here's the online stuff. I already went through that, so I'm not going to go through that again. Oh, here's the in-class quiz solutions. These are where I'm going to put the solutions. These will probably change, but these are old quizzes that I have on here. So again, these are where I'm going to put the solutions to any quizzes I do in class once I have the solutions created. Class projects. Here are the class projects. So I'm going to show you, just using one, how this works. So here's the directions on the class project. So here's project number 1. So you click on this and you download it, you open it up. And so this is what you're going to do. So here's the first one. So you're going to enable it so you can print it off. Well, you can print it off anyway, but you print this off, and what you're going to do is you're going to follow the directions. You're going to work on this. You're going to answer these questions, okay? And then once you're done, see, this is only a page long, so this project is not that difficult, okay? It's not that long. But what you're going to do is you're going to write out your answers. You're going to print this out, write out your answers, construct the truth table appropriately, and then when you're done, what you're going to do is scan this, okay, and save it as a PDF file, or you're going to take a picture of it with your phone and you're going to save it. And then what you're going to do is, once you save it, then what you're going to do is you're going to come back to this and see up here, you're going to click on this title. And when you click on it, now what happens is it has the due date, how many points it's worth, and what you're going to do is now, when you save this, you're going to save this on your computer somewhere. So what you're going to do is you're going to browse computer. And then what you do is you just browse the computer, find out where it's at, and you just find it. Okay, and when you find it, you double click on it. And now look at here. Now you see it attached. It's attached just like you would attach a file on an email. Now what you're going to do is you come down here and you can put comments in here if you want. If you want to send me a note or any comments, that's fine. And then you click submit. Once you click submit, you're done. So make sure that you've got it on the right file. So if it's PDF, make sure it's a PDF. If it's a GIF file, make sure that it's an appropriate file. But once you submit, again, make sure that you can view the preview and make sure you can open it up without any errors. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to submit it. Okay, so that's how you do that for each one of these. Okay, and so again, project solutions will be put here. So if there's any solutions, once the due date passes, I will have the solutions here for you to look at so they can see if you did it correctly or not. Okay. Okay, let's see, projects. Okay, so here's the review guides and practice exams. So I've got the review guides. So here, you're going to want to print these off and bring them to class the day of a review day. Okay, so you're going to want to print off and bring with you the review guides and the review exam. If you haven't started working on prior, which I strongly recommend that you do, but again, bring these to class so we can answer any questions and work through these during class. We're not going to have enough time in class to go through the entire review packet and work through the entire exam. So that's why I want you to make sure you're doing this before the review day, okay? But again, that's where they're at. And then unit exam solutions. So the unit exam solutions will be here. Okay, so once you're done, now again, these are old exams, so these will probably change. But again, this is where I'm going to post the solutions. So once you take the exam, I will post the solutions for you to look at, view, and study from. Okay, especially for the final exam. Let's see here. And then final grade calculation. Again, you don't really need this because Blackboard will do this for you. But again, if you want to see how it's calculated and you want to do it yourself, this is where you would see it. Okay, so again, this is not up to date, but again, it gives you an example of how it would be done. Okay, and then finally, we've got this information here. So this stuff is here, your grades and things like that. I'm not going to go over, but this is the main stuff for here. Okay, now, when you go to my math lab, again, here are the homework, right? You get 3 attempts at the homework to get a better score, because that's where I want you to make your mistakes. That's where I want you to practice, in addition to what we're going to be doing in class. Oh, by the way, bring your laptops if you have them. Bring your laptops to class. If you don't have a laptop, try to borrow one. If you have a MacBook, that should be fine. Okay, but make sure that you have access to where you're able to get access to your Blackboard, so you can get access to your homework and quizzes. Okay, because a lot of this we'll be working on this in class as well. So homework, you can work on. Here's where your homework is going to be. Okay, now if you want quizzes, now if you have all assignments, your quizzes will be at the bottom. Okay, so don't forget your quizzes are going to be here. Okay, so now your quizzes, you only get 1 attempt. Okay, and you don't have any of the helps that you have with your homework. So with homework, you'll get helps. Like for example, you'll have the Ask the Instructor tool. So if you get stuck on something, you can click on Ask the Instructor and it will send me an email with the question and the problem that you're getting stuck on. So you can actually ask me a question. It'll email me the link to the question so I can read your question and see the problem and see where you're getting stuck on. It's a great tool. But those are available on the homework. When you do the quiz, those will not be available to you. So this is where you're going to have to demonstrate that you understand the material. Okay, so you only get 1 attempt on the quizzes. 3 attempts on the homework, only 1 attempt on the quizzes. So just keep that in mind. And also, on the quizzes, you have to start and complete the quiz in 1 sitting. So you can't stop the quiz and then start it later. Okay? Okay, what else? Anything else on that as far as that goes? That's really it for Blackboard. There was something else. Oh, there was something else, and I know I'm going to remember here. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, so again, yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so that's it. So again, if you have any questions, make sure again that you watch this welcome video in its entirety, read the syllabus in its entirety to make sure you understand the due dates and where everything's what the expectations are in this class, and then please email me if you have any questions. Other than that, you have a great day, and I look forward to meeting you each and every one of you on the first day of class. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Have a great day. See you in class.